Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be pickup, the non-approach approach. Well, I've got an email here from a guy who's been following me for a short period of time. He's kind of new to my work, and he shares some of the success that he's had recently. He went to a friend's birthday party and started employing the things that I talk about in the video that I did a few years ago called Body Language That Attracts Women, and also an article that I did called How to Get Women to Approach You First. Now, he's not having spectacular success, but he did the things that I talked about, and he was actually able to cause the women around him at this particular party to start approaching him and talking to him. And this is a really great technique to use for guys that are really shy, or they're afraid to talk to women, or they're like, what do I do? What do I say? How do I go and talk to them? And instead, by exhibiting the body language that I talk about in the video, body language that attracts women, and also the things that I talk about in the article I wrote a few years ago, How to Get Women to Approach You First, you focus on having a great time with your friends, laughing, enjoying yourself. Instead of running around trying to meet and talk to every woman in there, you can just hang back, have a great time. Because think about it from this perspective. Guys who have lots of abundance in their life, they have an abundance of success, they have an abundance of women, they have an abundance of the kind of people they want, they're always getting invited to parties or to do fun things. They don't have to go seek or chase anything. They already have too many opportunities. Their problem is, which ones do I say yes to, and which people am I going to have to disappoint because I'm just too busy? If you think about from that perspective, even if your life was not like that, if you showed up and acted as if your life was this way, you'll give off that vibe of somebody who's, think about it, if you're getting brains fucked out all the time, you don't need to go talk to anybody. If your social life, your dance card, so to speak, is already so full, you don't have enough time to fit the people into it. They're already there. Why would you want to go and talk to anybody else and get more phone numbers? You're already busy as it is. You're already turning down people as it is. So when you go out, all your needs are met. You're getting laid on a regular basis. You're having a good time. You're not seeking anything. You're not lacking anything. You have everything that you already need in your life. And so that's what this particular guy did. And he had some small successes, and these are a big thing for him and anybody else that may be new to my work and is just wanting to try this stuff out. So I have a quote that I wrote on this topic, and I want to go through his email and look at what he did. And the quote says, "It's a man's job to be direct, decisive, and take advantage of the opportunities that the universe brings to him when he encounters women he finds attractive by either getting contact information or making a date on the spot. Most women are not going to ask out a man for a date when they find him attractive because that is the man's job in the social interaction. However, most women will put themselves into a man's orbit to get his attention when they find him attractive by approaching him, asking for his advice or opinion, standing near him, asking other people about him, or making eye contact while they smile, play with their hair, or physically touch him. Guys who are shy and terrified of rejection should take the lazy man's way of picking up women by focusing on having a good time, taking up too much space, exhibiting alpha male body language, smiling, laughing, and being 100% present with people who they are engaged in conversation with. If they do, this will cause them to appear approachable, comfortable with themselves, happy, successful, content, safe, fun, likable, desirable, and like a man who's already very successful with women and who has lots of choices with them. Men who are successful in life and with women always get approached by women due to their non-hungry and abundant state of being." Think about it. It's a complete paradigm shift. If you're already too busy, you already have enough. You're not going to be seeking, or every time a woman walks in the room, you drop what you're doing, you ignore whoever you're talking to, and you just start paying attention to the pretty girl on the other side of the room. If you have plenty of pretty girls in your life, you may notice a pretty girl walk in, you may not. You may see, you may glance over in her direction and go, oh wow, she's really beautiful. And then you go back to your conversation and what you're doing. Remember, you're not lacking anything. You already have plenty of that in your life. It gives off a completely different vibe than 99% of the guys that women are going to encounter. That a pretty girl walks in the room and everybody looks over. Everybody, especially all the single guys, they can't take their eyes off the girl. And they're just staring her down. What am I going to say to her? What happens if I start talking to her? How do I get her to like me? And they're focused on all those things, and here you are, just going about your life, being 100% present with whoever you happen to be engaged in conversation with. And women scan the room, and they notice, that guy over there's not really paying me any attention. Think about it. He's a safe person to go and talk to because everybody else is kind of giving off the creepy vibe. If I go over and I smile, right? Because women know if they look at a guy and they smile at him, the guy's going to automatically assume, oh, she wants to sleep with me. And because they convince themselves of that, they tend to become a pest and they don't leave her alone. So let's go through his email. He says, Dear Coach, I just want to say thank you for all of the amazing effort you put in so far into the videos that you make and the book that you wrote. I've read the book twice so far and I wanted to test it out. I was invited to a friend's birthday in a bar and I ended up hooking up with 2 girls that night. Well, in my book, hooking up means you got laid. That's what hooking up means. And this particular guy, which you can see, hooking up to him is talking to a couple of women. It's not hooking up, dude. But at least you interacted and you made some progress by really not doing anything other than just showing up and being focused on having a good time yourself. And when you're focused on that, meeting women or other people really is just, it's a side effect or a benefit of just being awesome and being happy and loving yourself and loving your life. The first one was wearing a t-shirt that had this fandom I liked. So when she came and sat down, I asked her directly, isn't that the show? And she said yes. We shook hands. We talked about it for 15 minutes. And notice what he's doing here. He's using something she's wearing that happens to be something he's also interested in. She's wearing a t-shirt representative of something he's already interested in. Think about it. It's pretty easy to have a conversation about that. She's wearing clothing that supports the same thing that he's already into. Like attracts like. It makes it very easy to ask questions because she's wearing a t-shirt. You start talking about that, and the conversation goes on 15 minutes about that one particular topic. And everyone around us looked at us like we were some sort of aliens. At the end, she added me on Facebook. It's pretty hard. The girl, obviously, she noticed you. You were focused on your life and your business and having a good time with your friends and your people that you knew there at the party. And she comes over and puts herself into your orbit. And then on top of that, she adds you on Facebook. There's no pursuing at all. That's what women do. She didn't ask him out. She didn't do anything. She just put herself in his orbit to make it easy for him to make something happen. This is what women do. And it's also the same approach I take if you're doing online dating. There's an article I wrote several years ago called The Ultimate Online Dating Profile. I reference it in my book and in countless videos and articles. And it takes a perspective if you've already got enough of it in your life and this is what you're looking for, and oh, by the way, if you think this is me, I'm describing you, then hey, get in touch. And that's basically the same philosophy that I take with online dating. If you want to date with and have some other choices online, complete paradigm shift. Instead of chasing and pursuing, you focus on being awesome and enjoying your life, and you will meet women as a side effect of being awesome. He says, as for the other girl, I noticed she had a high level of interest since I walked in, but I didn't do anything. I just sat back and waited for the right moment. My friend who had the birthday kept walking by me every once in a while to ask me to dance, and I would refuse, saying, I don't know how to. So the last time he went to ask this particular woman that I had noticed to dance, and I noticed she talked about me, saying that he keeps asking me, and when I wouldn't dance, she looked right at me and stuck her tongue out. I mean, think about that. He's having a good time. He's doing what he wants. He's sitting there like the king of his kingdom. And she's noticed him. Obviously, she found him attractive. And so she's taking an indirect approach by talking to one of his friends. And then she basically sticks her tongue out. That's like a little boy and a little girl being playful. She's letting him know, or she's trying to get his attention. He says, I smiled, looked back at her, and stuck my tongue out. I told her, I don't know how to dance, and she said, neither can I. So I said, well, can you teach me? And so he wasn't interested in dancing, but this attractive girl comes over. She can't dance either, and it's like, fuck it, let's go dancing. He says, so we walked on stage and started dancing and joking for 5 minutes. I asked her for her name, and then she said it. So I said, nice to meet you, and paused. She immediately asked for mine. Something right out of my book. And that was something I learned from Doc Glove probably 17, 18 years ago. It's a great way. Hey, what's your name? Oh, my name's Samantha. It's nice to meet you, Samantha. If she's interested, she'll say, well, what's your name? And if she's not, she'll go, yeah, nice to meet you too. And then you won't hear anything else. You don't really have to, I mean, she's sticking her tongue out. She's asking for his name. You ask for the phone number or a date in this situation, you're not going to get rejected. All because you put out the right vibe, the vibe of abundance, the vibe that this kind of thing happens to you all the time. You're kind of a selective guy. If you've got lots of choices, lots of women that want to date you and to come over and flirt with you, your most difficult thing is, which girl should I actually go out with? Because I have so many choices. But if you got nothing going on in your personal life and you have that mindset of, oh my God, I'm never going to talk to another pretty girl again as long as I live, completely different vibe, and these kinds of things will not happen because women will sense that. But that's why he's getting approached. He's not there to meet women. He's there to have a good time and celebrate his buddy's birthday party. He says, we kept glancing and smiling, and she laughed. As I was leaving, I said bye to my friend and made sure that she saw me leave, then reached her from her back. She turned and walked all the way around to me. I knew the interest was high, but for some reason I hesitated to get her contact. So you kind of fell down at the end there. You didn't ask for contact, but she made it pretty obvious and pretty easy for you. All the signs are there right out of my book. This girl's definitely into you. And for a lot of guys, when these kinds of things start happening for the first time, they're, holy shit, this stuff works. This fucking Corey guy, oh my God. I'd have to do nothing. I just showed up and I was awesome and I focused on myself and my friends and having a good time and laughing. And women put themselves into my orbit. He says, I said it was nice to meet you. And I'll see you soon. And they left. He says, I know it was a wasted opportunity, but now I know I could do it again in the future, as back then I couldn't even get to this stage so quickly. And like I said, this is a great starting point, especially for any guy or girl for that matter, that is really shy and worried about rejection, worried about approaching people that they happen to be interested in. You can hang back and focus on these particular types of body language and going about your life, and other people will make it easy for you. I'm sure she'll probably add me through common friends as I commented on a post by one. So again, I just want to say thank you for the great effort you put in your work. You are the man. Well, I think it's a great first step for you, dude. I mean, you just found out about my work. You read the book twice. And now you were able to go and change your behavior and how you're showing up in life without really risking a lot. Just a couple subtle changes to how you're showing up and interacting in the world with other people and women. And one evening, you had 2 women basically say, hey, this is a great way to start out, especially for those of you that may be watching this that are just terrified of approaching members of the opposite sex. It works brilliantly and makes it really fucking easy. Another reason why there's no need to chase. Why would you want to put so much effort in chasing and getting rejected when you can just hang back and be awesome and women will show up and try to get your attention? And then all you got to do is ask for the contact number or ask for the date or make a date right on the spot. The moment you meet her, that can become the first date. When this guy gets a little more experienced, a little more confident, these particular type of instances, this is how it can lead to an instant seduction that night, especially in this case because you got social proof because you're there for a mutual friend's birthday party. So if you're there as part of the birthday party, you must be okay. Attraction's not a choice. Prime example, you got 2 women that are automatically attracted to this guy, and because he was exhibiting the right vibe, the right body language, the right physiology, they voted with their feet. And they came over there and made easy for him to make something happen. But like I said, you get a little further down the line, you get a little more experience, You strike up a conversation like this, girls touch your arm, she's extra close. It's just easy within a matter of minutes to be making out with women that are exhibiting these signs. And then after a couple hours hanging out, you're all over each other. Hey, want to get out of here and go back to my place and have a glass of champagne? It's pretty easy. All you really have to do is not talk these women out of liking you. And so this is a great first step. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.